Hello and welcome back to another morning shower aha moment. My name is Suzanne and I am your intuition coach. So today's insight is a bit more serious, but I feel it is one of my most powerful messages yet. So the most asked question I get is, how can I trust my intuition? Well, I had a little insight today while I was showering, and the insight is that if you believe you are separate from your intuition, you will not trust it. But once you decide to become one and unified with yourself, intuition will naturally become an inseparable aspect of yourself that you will never be able to deny. So if you do not have conviction that you and your intuition are one unit, you will see it as an outsider. You will see it as a foggy apparition that frightens you when it appears in your awareness, and you will find ways to make it go away, guaranteed. So, and this is consciously or not. So if intuition is separate from you, it is impossible to trust it. So what I mean by separate is that there is no unity between you and your inner wisdom. There's a division between you and it. So most of us trust with absolute conviction our five senses to give us correct signals that we are seeing, touching, hearing, smelling, tasting what we think we are, right? Well, that is if all the senses are working and we don't have, really any kind of disability. But we all know that even with our tangible five senses, there's always room for interpretation by our own perceptions, right? Well, intuition gives us subtle energetic signals that uses our inner five senses. So I'll give you an example of the difference between real tangible energy and intuitive subtle energy. So real tangible energy is where my physical eyes can look up in the sky on a clear cloudless day, and if you were to ask me what color the sky is, I would say blue. But my intuition rarely, sometimes, but rarely sees the actual color blue. My inner eye sees the experience of blue, such as I get an image of a room full of blueberries. I mean, the room is entirely full of blueberries. And then I have to decode what the information is trying to tell me. And it's not so much about the blueberries that are important, but the color blue. So what does this have to do with trusting your intuition? Okay, I'm going to break it down, what it means to trust. And then you can decide if you are a person who can trust. So if you have blocks to trusting in general, then the question is not how can you trust your intuition, but your new question could be something like this. How can you become unified within yourself so that you can allow yourself to be unified with everything around you? And only when you become unified within yourself can you trust your intuitive insights. So it is my opinion that humans, by nature, have this crazy desire to always be forecasting ahead. And forecasting helps when we need to know if danger is up ahead, and so we can prepare for danger or, unforeseen circumstances, right? Well, this is good for forecasting things like potential weather warnings, but the problem with forecasting your personal life is that the data is only gathered from your past, and there really is no room for the outcomes of infinite possibilities. If you are so in love with forecasting, then when you get an intuitive hit that doesn't click or jive with your forecasted data, you are going to dismiss it and not trust the insight. So I'm going to say something next, and I want you to really listen to the words, okay? To trust is to rely on another's actions that affect your future outcome. So as soon as I say that, what happens in your body? Does it feel good, and do you feel open, or does your body contract in fear? I know that when that question was asked of me, I contracted in fear. There is no flippin' way I could feel comfortable relying on someone else's action that affects my future. That would be crazy to me. But let's take it a step further and tie in what I said before about becoming one with yourself. What if that person you were relying on was not outside of you, but inside of you? Would you still feel uncomfortable trusting? What if the higher wisdom in you knew more than what you knew about you? What if you could never go wrong by following your higher wisdom's instructions, and you could throw out your entire prediction map library that kept you in a state of fear because you were controlling your future life with limited experiences and limited data that worked in the past but doesn't work now? So if you are asking yourself, how do I trust my intuition? I want to really help you by seeing that that is not the question you are really, really asking yourself. You are really, really asking yourself, can I be one with my internal and more expanded wise part of myself, my intuition? And can I step out into the unpredictability of life and know that I can rely on my intuition's nudges to lead me to my best life? Now, if you have a need to control your life, you are proving that you are not one, not in unity with your life. Really, you are creating a false sense of security that you are one with life. But really, you are only proving to yourself that you have predicted an accurate outcome. You have separated yourself from the unlimited possibilities that you are really, really afraid of. So it's okay, it's no judgment, right? It's just a fact that we all do this to one extent or another. And the trouble that we get ourselves into is that this tactic works. But this tactic only works if you only want to have, limited experiences in your life. If you want richer experiences in life, you have to let go of being the separate, controlling bystander of your experiences and begin to step into yourself as a unified and whole and open person. So awareness is the key. When you ask, how can I trust my intuition? That is the first clue that you are acknowledging that you are living a separate life from your true nature. And as an intuition coach, I can help you to remember how to unify all the separate pieces of yourself so you can live a super rich life. So if you liked this message and you feel inspired to share it, do so. And until next time, practice experiencing oneness with every person you come in contact with nature, with animals, with people. Be one with all so you can begin building the muscle to wholeheartedly trusting again. Okay? Until next time, I will see you later.